there are global solutions available, but those global solutions to provide them the support in the first 3 days are not working in the rural environment. They are not affordable in many settings. Another work that has been approved now, which can actually go in a very low cost setting in 1 to 1.5 lakhs rupees, which can support the neonate until their lungs can take over and deliver it. And just to give you an example, the neonatologist who was serving this in rural setting sent us a postcard with an anonymized picture of the baby, saying that if your innovation was not there, you would not have been able to survive the baby. So it's a very gratifying the way the affordable healthcare is going to play the role in ensuring the public health equity comes in. So not only in India, but beyond India, according to this theme of the session. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you. Actually, what a coincidence. Actually, you are mentioning about VAP, that is ventilator pneumonia. Very recently, at national level, CA has conducted one competition wherein Kaveri got the national level award for winners. And we are actually, though we are healthcare, many of the industry practices we have followed, say 5 years and in one of the project we have done it and in and the interesting part is we are the only hospital in compared to manufacturing and service sector. So that is one. We are having a 2.5 decade experience with 3M and GE. This is our 25th year of journey in healthcare. We started the journey with 30 beds in Trichy. Right now we are having 1,500 beds. Within next 2 years we are going to touch 3,000 beds. And 3M and GE, many of the products we are using it. And our mission statement also quality affordable healthcare. So now I think I call Ms. Radhika that, okay, how 3M is into the strategies, how do you perceive that the collaboration is helping out, and any, recently introduced product definitely is going to help the larger masses. And here I want to recall, recently I met one of the startup company, they have introduced one of the consumable, it is very surprising, 1/100th of the price. When such kind of innovations are happening, definitely already we are the global player in healthcare, that too in medical value travel. Definitely we will be superimposed and we will be the superior in any other country in the global. So that's kind of your how we pursue the collaboration and also any recently introduced products from you.
So I think in terms of collaboration, how do we go forward in terms of innovation? I think most of the points have already been covered. It is a collaboration between the different stakeholders in the medtech sector. Basically, we talk about the government, we talk about the industry, we have the academia as we talked about, then we have the healthcare providers, and we have the insurance providers. So all of them have a significant role to play. I mean, like in case we really need to take India up on the innovative index as we talked about in one of the earlier sessions. I think it is critical that our public spending of healthcare has to increase, as we rightly saw that US is around 19 to 20%. In India, I think the public spending on healthcare right now is around 2.1%, if I recall. So we have a long way to go, but yes, it's definitely improved the last time, and there are definitely other aspects of the government will play a role in incentivizing the industries to create more local manufacturing facilities to look at innovation. Then in terms of academia, I think that's another thing that we really need to invest in. So we need to have collaboration between the industry and some of the leading labs or something to have academic curriculum where we have people who are able to develop new ideas, new patents, and newer technologies, and these have to be taken forward by the entrepreneurs in turning that to the proof of concept, and then the industry will be coming and taking it to mass level. Right? And then the insurance providers, I mean, most of the innovative technologies now need to reach the masses. Otherwise, if it's just restricted to the top few of niche players, it doesn't really serve the purpose. So here the insurance can play a good role in ensuring that these technologies are also part of the package that they're covered in, so that we can actually reach out to the masses and give them the right technology, which will overall reduce the cost of care. And then not last but not the least, our regulatory definitely needs some reforms. Drastic reforms have to come in making it easier for us to do business, ease of business, as well as the time for getting the approvals. I think that will again play a major role. So that was about it. From the 3M's perspective, so when we talk about innovation, one is obviously, as we talked about, making it available, making people aware about it, and then looking at making it affordable as well. So we have tied up with various partners. There, as we all know, in India right now, there are no standards or guidelines that are there. We have each hospital has individual standards and guidelines. Yeah. So we have tied up with various PMOs, like we've tied up with INS, which where we drive the what are the concept of reducing the IV guidelines and IV care. Similarly, we have with the sterilization. We have tied up with CAHU, which talks about how do we improve the quality in sterilization. So we're talking about bringing in awareness of the different places, and we have different products that we have in India. One, I would say, in the sterilization space, we have something called super rapid BIs. So we all know that while all the instruments in the hospitals are sterilized, they cannot be released into the OT till we get the results of the sterilization. So we have a concept which gives the results in 24 minutes, which makes it, which makes it the hospitals feel safe that the instruments that have been sterilized are properly done and they can be used for surgeries. So I think that was what I would like to add.
Actually, yeah, quality and sterility and all one of the primemost factor in healthcare. And any other industry can have 99% accuracy, but in healthcare, always 100% accuracy is needed. Yeah, just like GE, they are having a high-end product for rural area and all. I mean, metro and all, complete range of product. Kaveri, we are having our units in metro, Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3. Similarly, they are having very high-end critical care equipments for required for OT and ICU, also imaging, all the range. Because that is the way things will work. In that sense, I expect some more productive ideas and all how the collaboration is helping and any recent products.
Yeah, I'll tell a story because I'm an engineer by profession. I work with a lot of doctors and clinicians. And the story goes like this. I mean, when the COVID hit, first call came around March 20. My head called me from India and said, hey, we need to really want to see how we could help the country. That's the time actually we really realized, because we manufacture some of the equipment in India, some of the equipment we manufacture outside the India. When we want to look at, hey, we want to really make an India ventilator, then we really found how important the collaborations are. We talked about industry collaboration, academia collaboration, but if we really want to make a product, right, that goes into an ICU, takes care of the patient 24/7 for continuous 14 days or 16 days with the COVID time. So the quality of the equipment really matters a lot. I think Radhika talked about reusing of the equipment, means you should have a cleaning capability. Second thing is equipment is rightly manufactured, right? So we were looking at, small plastics or machine industry, electronics, everything we're looking at that point of time, qualitative, because we cannot have, in the rush, we cannot make the product which is non-quality one. So the thing is, we have been working with a lot of manufacturers, clinicians, academicians. So the collaboration is quite important because it is not at one scale. From taking from clinicians what they want, when we build engineering point of view, designs and those things, and manufacture them, and getting them used in the hospital on a continuous basis, the entire circle of chain completely, you have a lot of collaborations. We can't do by one person itself. And that is very important. So I call this systems engineering. So healthcare systems has to evolve. Definitely we're evolving a lot. But that is a key focus area, I would say. We still require a lot of effort from all the fields, manufacturing, engineers, design companies, healthcare professionals, and those in hospitals like you. That's what I would put as collaborations. The second thing is innovation. That we have been in this country for quite a long time. And I talk about a couple of examples. We are there from imaging to therapeutics. A couple of things I'll talk about is, for example, in the COVID time again, we require, people have went through from CT score to X-ray to really know how good is your lungs are. These machines, in a normal case, you may take, let's say, 20 CT scans. But the COVID time, you know the Kaveri hospital by yourself, that you require to take many CT scans in a day. That means you really have to support the machine to take a lot more load, which was not seen everywhere in the world. India has seen the largest load of CT machines per day, taking CT scans. That means you should think about the gantry, which is rotating. If you do not know, CT is taken, you have X-ray one end and greater at the other end, they rotate, they long and large speed. That means you're taking now more number of scans. So the innovation has to come in terms of how stable image you take. Even the slightest error of few can create a lot of noise in the patient data. So the innovation is basically how do you get a stable gantry? How do you reduce the bore of it? This was what we built in Bangalore, especially from the center here. And the second thing is that COVID taught us, hey, how do you ensure the image quality is really good? Even the patient moves around because you can't tell the patient to be constant at one location. But how do you ensure the imaging algorithms can correct them, right? So these are the small things, but they create a lot of value when you go insights in the patient perspective. So these are the innovations we do in Bangalore. We have larger hundreds of patents we generate throughout the year, but also ensure we actually help the global system also. And smallest thing like ECG machine, if I want to take an ECG rural area, somebody asked about rural, how you help. The rural thing is, how do you ensure when you go to rural clinic, how do you ensure our cell phone signal stays for, let's say, 24 hours or 52 hours? How do you ensure the ECG machine you carry in the back of your pack take the ECGs for at least for 2 days, right? Can we have the design thinking? It is not about how do you create machines for rural, but you start design thinking to that level. What is my rural environment is? You should know about it. It is not about designing something sitting in a far place. You should go to that place, understand the conditions, availability of the power, availability of the systems there, all those things. That's why we build the rural, devices. So those are the innovations constant and continuously happen, but it happens within the healthcare setting in the frame in mind.
Definitely, as all the speakers told, collaboration is needed because it can be incubation or it can be sharing of knowledge, it can be training of the masses, whatever it may be. Definitely, I think he also touched about the COVID, the tough time. Actually, how, Kaveri worked during COVID, we helped the smaller nursing homes and the hospitals wherever there with our knowledge and all, and the training, how to handle. Because wave one, absolutely no treatment protocol, nothing. But at the time and all, only knowledge sharing, supporting and all helped a lot. And I think since time is there, one more question I want to take. In any activity, whether it is innovation or research or collaboration or implementing or ideation, some policy interventions are needed. Do you feel any, support and challenges you perceive in the policy of the government and the administrators? Any opinion on this?
I think you have clearly asked me to speak in one line, so I will try to do that considering the time limit. I think for building breakthrough innovations, one of the needs of the hour is risk funding from the government side, and that is truly very much needed. Numbers are important, but you have to have a blue sky moonshots being supported. ISRO was supported years ago, and we are seeing the results now. For science, innovation in healthcare, we need to build those